Hello and welcome back to the third game of StarLadder Season 8, day number 1. We have got ourselves two new and fresh teams. It is Empire, who will be playing from the Dire side, and super strong dinosaurs from the Radiant side. And of course, I'm not alone yet, but I'm still joined by Capitalist. Welcome back.
Well, thank you for graciously having me here, Shiva. I do appreciate it.
Do appreciate you being here also. And I mean, I haven't seen super strong dinosaurs in a while, and I feel like they've also changed their lineup since the last time I saw them. But I like this lineup. It's interesting. With Snaking, Arise, PPD, Come With Me. I don't really know who Zai is though.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I don't see this team lasting for very long. My presumption is they're going to break off, and most of the time, because having teams that are split across the Atlantic is really hard to make work. Like, you really have to have a try-hard mentality. For example, Eternal Envy makes it works because he's so committed to it. But I like pretty much almost all of these players on this team. I respect, I think they're great Dota 2 players, so I hope to see this team go well, and if they ever break apart, I hope to see at least some of these players go on and do great things in the Dota scene.
Yeah, I agree. I hope for the same thing. I actually also think it's more like a passing station of a team before the players will move to greener pastures. So, hopefully, for them, of course, they made this team work, but otherwise they indeed find those greener pastures. As we're gonna see, Gyrocops are picked up very early by Empire. That's actually the first thing I noticed. I mean, the rest, Lich, also Venomans are banned, Visage, Elder Titan, it's all kind of standard, but Gyrocops are picked up is not that uncommon, but picked up this early is not something that I was expecting at all.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, I guess Team Empire is just picking up as a stable pick in general, just because it's not incredibly strong versus anything that super strong dinosaurs picked up. Like, Timbersaw is a great offlaner in general in this patch, and Crystal Maiden is one of the top supports. There's nothing really special about Gyrocopter against those heroes. Crystal Maiden's a little squishy, maybe a free kill, but most supports are free kills for Gyrocopter who's farmed. So I guess Team Empire just really valuing the Gyrocopter pickup, and with the Clockwork, that is actually a very strong combo. Clockwork being able to provide the gank, setting up really, really easy cooldowns, and also gives Gyrocopter a lot of space to be able to make sure he gets off those flat cannon hits. So looks like Team Empire, they're just focusing on their own strategy here, and they just really value Gyrocopter.
Yeah. Well, I don't blame them. I am surprised that there is still a Naga Siren in the pool, because that's a support that works out so well together with the Gyrocopter, and I really wouldn't mind seeing her picked up right here. As, well, Empire could do with a good support still. They've got a Clockwork that could go to the offlane, Gyrocopter as their carry. For SSD, they've got themselves a Timbersaw for the offlane and a strong mid in the OD. There's still quite a few counters towards that OD in the pool though, even though SSD did manage to ban out the Razor, of course, by themselves. But I'm talking about things like a Kunkka, a Lone Druid, Nyx Assassin even sometimes gets picked up against that OD, but still quite a few counters in there, as the Bane is the support that Empire actually goes for first. So we'll see if they still want to have their hands on the Naga Siren. What do you think about the Naga in this one?
I think she's definitely fallen off a bit in this patch, but I think she's still pretty viable, and she's, as you said, she'd definitely be really strong with their current draft. But I don't know, teams just don't really value her as much as they used to. Viper going to be picked up by Team Empire. That's and a decent grab. I mean, he's a really good mid versus Outworld Devourer. You also is all right versus Timbersaw. Not amazing by any means, but
no, but he is decent. That slow is definitely going to be useful if Timbersaw likes to chase people around. Then at least he has got a bit of a slow to his hands. So far though, not that many disables coming off from Empire apart from that Fiend's Creep. I'm not really counting Nightmare as the real disable. I mean, you do have it as a disable, of course, and it can definitely set up for some nice Gyrocopter combinations with the Rocket Barrage after the Nightmare, but no real hard disables like a Frostbite or Telekinesis or Magic Missile or things like that. So we'll still see what that last pick is going to be for Empire. It could still be a support. They could also use the Clockwork as support and go for something else in the jungle. They are actually one of the teams that does actually still use Clockwork as support, so we'll see what they end up with. SSD, they actually ban out the Lion. They don't want to see the magical damage against that Timber Saw, and of course also the Sable coming out from that Lion on the team of Empire. One carry needed for SSD as the anti-mage is the one that Empire bans out, but we'll see what SSD choose to go with. They have got a lot of time left in their bonus time if they want to.
Yeah, and Team Empire leaving their last support in the pool, it leaves them open for options. I really feel that last pick just gives you so many advantages that it's often better to have last pick than anything else. But Team Empire, they can choose here if SSD picks up something aggressive, something that operates a little bit more in the mid game, then they could pick up another support just to be able to win lanes. Possibly something that can go with Clockwork to be able to provide him protection, and they can do some sort of dual lane. But if not, if SSD picks up a
Escape? Ah! Escape is doing stupid things. Come back up. Come back. Ah, there you are. Hello.
options, SSD is going to have to reveal what they want to go for here, though.
Yeah. That was us being away for a while, but Weaver is the carry that gets picked up by SSD. Empire, one more pick. So I am still hoping for the Naga Siren, but now that Lion is banned out, I'm actually thinking perhaps they want to get some extra damage from magical damage coming out. I wouldn't mind Alina. Works out nicely together with the Bane as well. You can set up for a nice Light Strike array, otherwise me Shadow Shaman, maybe, perhaps, even though I find that less likely than Alina. But Empire, they still also have a lot of time left in their bonus time, so we'll see what they end up going for. What do you recommend for Empire here? Or did you just say that and we didn't hear it because Skype...
No. I didn't say... Well, I basically said the Team Empire can go greedy if they want and pick up a jungler, but
yeah.
It's our Skype call seems to be deteriorating over time.
Maybe we have to recall after the draft is done. That might be
possibly. So Team Empire here, you're dealing with Crystal Maiden, Rubik, Weaver. That could potentially be an aggressive tri-lane if you get too greedy. So if they pick up some sort of hardcore jungler, something like Enigma, something that doesn't really help out the lanes too much, they're exposed in that regard. So probably just either a dual laner or a good support.
Well, this is both. Possible dual laner, possible good support. I like the Windrunner Clockwork lane, Windranger Clockwork lane. Bane Gyrocopter dual lane works as well, so they have a lot of options with this Windranger here. I like the pickup, and they do exactly as you say, as I will be calling you back. We'll be right back. Or he'll be right back, because I'm still here. Because that is probably the best way to do this. Welcome back.
Something tells me it won't fix it, but we can always hope. It sounds good now. Yeah,
it does. So, you know, who knows? Maybe long calls are more difficult than short calls or something. I don't know. Well, we're waiting for Empire to have their last hero picked up. Clockwork, there we go, Mag. Doing what needs to be done. Did I already change overlays? No, I didn't, so I did it now. Good. Still not forgetting that one. I have to say, I don't really like the new Gyrocopter wings. It looks too much like Batrider if you look at it at a glance, especially if you're on your mobile. Because I was watching on my mobile some of the games, and then I saw Gyrocopter, but those wings actually make him look a bit like Batrider on my mobile, so me.
Yeah, it's something that doesn't look like it actually belongs on Gyrocopter. It's just like the wings... They don't really look like they do anything for that flying machine.
Nope.
Just there. But I think this, if it's not an aggressive tri-lane, which it doesn't look like it's going to be, SSD's chosen not to go that route. They'll probably go for dual lanes. If it was an aggressive tri-lane, they would probably keep Windrunner and they put tri-lane versus tri-lane and potentially even have Bane roam to middle and do his classic Enfeeble combo. But because it's just an off lane, they can put Windranger at the bottom lane with a Clockwork if they want to and try and put a little bit of pressure and give a little security to this Clockwork. And Bane can roam back and forth between middle and top. I mean, he's a pretty good support. He just needs level 2. And just him being in fog is going to be enough to scare Timbersaw a bit. Because if he gets too close to the gyrocopter, Rocket Barrage, it may not be enough to kill him by any means, but it's enough to really make him lose a lot of his HP regen and push him back. So if they do a full tri-lane, I mean, I'm not really expecting it. Windrunner really needs levels, so does Bane. I think they're much more suited to, once they see an off-lane Timbersaw, allow Timbersaw to pick up some experience in exchange for dual laning.
Yeah, perhaps even Bane is going to help out mid for a little while until Viper is on his feet. By the way, could you turn your Dota TV sound on and off? Because apparently it stopped working for some reason. And you can do that while I introduce Empire, as they've got Resolution in the mid lane. Resolution will play on the Viper and indeed has got himself a bit of a support hanging around here. Vanscore, he'll play the Bane. On the top lane, we've got a dual lane so far with Always Wanna Fly playing the Wind Ranger and Silent playing the Gyrocopter, and that will leave Mag on one of his more played heroes. It is the Clockwork, as he's already forcing snaking away here. But Mag will take on the offlane. Then.
Yeah, look at that. Sorry, I'll introduce the team in a second, but Zai has already picked up 1 level of reactive armor, and Wind Ranger isn't doing anything to really keep him out. I mean, he's taking a little bit of damage. In fact, if he gets too close to Gyrocopter like that, he'll actually cop all of the full Rocket Barrage because he has no escape mechanism. But for the most part, he's going to pick up full experience, and Wind Ranger as a support can't do enough to keep Timbersaw away.
Yeah, and he actually picks up Whirling Death with his first spell rather than his Timber Chain. A bit more aggressive than I thought he would be, but sorry, I will let you introduce SSD.
On SSD, we got Snake King as the carry. He's going to be up on the Weaver in the bottom lane farming. Arise is going to be your mid OD player. PPD is Crystal Maiden. Zai is the Timbersaw in the off lane. And Come With Me is going to be on the Rubik.
Yep, and that will leave us with a Rice here in the mid lane that is having a bit of a tough time with that Enfeeble on him. He's so far sitting on 4 last hits. Resolution on 8, so with that Bane being in the mid lane for the start, it's really helping out. And even though there's slightly, of course, some experience difference because Bane has taken some experience from the lane and Resolution therefore is slightly behind on Arise, it's a pretty scary thing for Arise to be at right now. Oh, Speedy Demon walking through. I hope still that the lane will rotate though, as you said, that they will have. Oh, wait a second, Zai might be looking for something here. If he has that Whirling Death off, he might be able to get the kill. The Timber Chain, the Whirling Death, one more hit, that's a first blood right there! Timbersaw makes it happen. Zai gets first blood there on top lane.
That was risky, picking up level 2 Whirling Death, but it actually worked out really well for him. He got really aggressive on the Wind Ranger, got a couple different Whirling Deaths on him that lowered him low enough. But if Bane had rotated up earlier, they would have been in a really good position to kill Timbersaw. Like, just asleep and then positioning. Gyrocopter behind Timbersaw. Like, with no escape mechanism, he's just going to take a huge amount of damage from Rocket Barrage, and they could have killed him. But
Skype. Please no Skype. It is having a fit again. This time I will try to do something to fix it. And I think I know what to do, but in the meantime I will have to get my camera unlocked on someone that I think will have all the action going. Which I think is going to be this guy right there. As I am going to just try to fix the sound. I'm sorry people for the issues that we have. But maybe they'll get fixed right after I am back on the Skype in just a second. So far, no kills, just misses. We see that Advanced Score and Always Wanna Fly are a bit more protective now of their Gyrocopter compared to what they were before. And there, perhaps we are gonna have ourselves a bit of a kill. Mag with the Battery Assault looking for Come With Me, the Flare! He should be able to get this kill! Snaking can't do anything to stop that right here. Mag running himself away into safety. No harm done to him, and he is gonna be fine with a kill under his belt. Now a 1-1 score, as I'm almost done with fixing the Skype. And that should put ourselves back in the hands of Capitalist, who can inform you a bit more about the tactical aspects of this game. Compared to me, that is. It should be there shortly. Resolution 14 for 4 now that the Bane has left. He has a bit of issues. Rocket Barrage, they want to take down this Timber Saw. He looks to be getting away though. One more Timber Chain to go, but the Power Shot still hits. He doesn't reach a tree with his Timber Saw and will get picked off. Gyrocopter with the last hit with the gold, something that they desperately needed. And that is gonna be... Yeah, there we go. That is gonna be putting things back there. Welcome back. Should be welcome back. Cap. If he answers the call, which he should be doing very shortly. Hello? Do you want to leave a video message? No, thank you. Well, I'm calling again, so he should answer, and then we should be having him. There you go. Sorry, I had to restart my proxy server, seeing if that fixed it, so I'm back. Hello? Yeah, there you are. So I did manage to catch those 2 kills, by the way. I'm
nice.
Queen multitasking today, apparently.
Well played.
Yes.
Yeah, both times offlaners get kills on supports that really they shouldn't have, but it's because of the fact that dual lanes. And Timbersaw is about to pick up level 6, meaning he's extremely deadly for picking up level 6 this early. And mid.
Oh, mid. Resolution is the one to go down with one more hit from Arise. The Enfeeble not going to stop that from happening. Advanced Guru teleported in to help his teammate.
Oh, wow.
Oh, 10 health. That wasn't close at all. Good rotation coming off from Come With Me and of course also from PPD as they get themselves the solo mid, put the score back to 2-1-2.
Well played, Snake King. He's a fan of Midas Gaming as well, as apparently he's going to pick that up on Weaver nice and early, and Always Wanna Fly is going to get caught out as well.
Yeah, got a telekinesis, the shackle doesn't latch. Fate Build is still there, and with the haste rune, Arise should be able to get the kill unless these golems are going to be doing something bad to Windrunner, but nope. Arise gets the kill.
Look at Zai.
Ooh, Viper Strike up on the Crystal Maiden. Frostbite's still there. I'm not sure if it will matter though. Crystal Maiden drops real fast. In comes a hookshot from Mag. Gets Come With Me, who is locked inside, in place, with Resolution hitting from the low ground. Will be able to get a double kill there. The telekinesis might still be there, and Arise might get himself another kill, but in comes Always Wanna Fly. Tries to shackle, doesn't latch, but at least forces Arise back, and looks to be getting successful with that one. Resolution lives after getting a double kill. And overall, it is Empire that get themselves one extra kill in the mid lane compared to SSD.
Yeah, really well played. Zai almost got a kill on Gyrocopter at top as well. He dove tier 1, and that's a danger of only dual laning versus a Timbersaw. And giving up a kill early like that, Timbersaw can easily kill. Once he hits level 6, he puts a lot of pressure on your lane, not just on the supports, but even the carry.
Yeah, and this Gyrocopter sitting on 40-10 at this point. I mean, if we compare him to the hero that we can compare him to, which is Snaking, 42-16, it's very even, but the main difference is that Snaking, wait a second, top lane, cooldown comes down, Come With Me and Zai in some trouble. Brain Sap Gyrocopter with the kill. It is one hero down, but at least Zai lives through it. And I was gonna say the main difference is the fact that there is a Hand of Midas on the Weaver, but the fact that Silence is already getting kills is actually quite a big of a difference right here, as he is actually just running past the tower. The shackle won't latch, but the Rocket Barrage is still there. Zai will be picked off. Another kill going the way of this Gyrocopter, who has now got 3 kills on his name. The tower still able to pick off the Wind Ranger, who was indeed killed by the Dire. Nobody there to get extra gold off the back of that, but that is that's a Gyrocopter that starts to be very scary, with Phase Boots now 1400 gold in his pocket, and a Weaver that can't really do that much just yet because he's built into a Midas, so he needs more time to start building towards some items.
Yeah, it's rare to see both teams having their offlaners be so successful, but Clockwork is looking really, really scary as well. He's level 7 right now with maxed out Battery Assault, meaning he can kill pretty much anyone who he hooks, and he chooses a Rise.
Yeah, hookshot on the Rise. The Astral Imprisonment still there. PPD also there, should he be needed. Sanity's Eclipse comes out, and maybe they can get Mag in return. He looks to be indeed dropping, but in comes Resolution, and the Shackle from Always Wanna Fly, and they get the Weaver. They get Snaking. They do lose their Bane on the top lane, but that's worth it every time. Supports rotating middle to help out and get a kill on the hard carry of SSD. That's a win right there in my book.
Yeah, absolutely. Look kind of bad. OD is one of the harder targets to do well with Clockwork, but because of that imprisonment, still Good rotation by Always Wanna Fly, and he makes up for his kind of a failed shackle shot earlier.
Did you see Resolution trying to get the observer ward in the high ground? I think he missed like 5 times in a row or something.
Oh, did he?
Unlucky. Sorry, distracting. Oh, this.
You also notice Always Wanna Fly's build, maxing out shackle shot first.
Oh, I like that. I really do. And he's been landing them as well. I mean, of course, some of them haven't landed, as we've seen those as well. Wait a second, top lane has got some problems. Bane no longer in any troubles because he doesn't feel pain anymore. He's dead. Hookshot hits though from Mag onto side. Timber chain away, doesn't reach him because of that battery assault. That's gonna be a Timber Saw dead. That's gonna be worthy trade. A shackle, latches, come with me, does not get Mag either. It is 2 for 1. A greedy kill on the Bane. And the rotation of Empire being successful as they get themselves 4 heroes top, and now that they're there anyway, might as well take down the tier 1 tower, which would be the first tower to drop in this game.
It's amazing how one little change, like Timbersaw now having stuns interrupts his Timber Chain, makes it so it used to be that Timbersaw was kind of a counter to Clockwork in many ways, and now it's the other way around.
So close, they fortified, they got the deny, and Snaken tried to go for the Geminite attack to get the last hit, but he didn't have enough damage. He does make it out alive, but that deny, brilliant play from Resolution. They don't get the tier 1 tower top though because of those TPs, but I think that getting a deny and saving that tower for later is probably the better choice. Denying Snaking that extra bit of gold that he really needs at this point, because his net worth might be high, but a big part of that is of course that Hand of Midas that doesn't really help him that much in fight at the moment. We might have Resolution in some trouble though. He still is able to land a poison strike, but gets a poison strike right back at him from the Rubik. Kills happening back and forth. Viper and Rubik killing each other, but in comes Mac. Gets snaking inside of there. He doesn't have a time lapse anymore. Already used it. The shackle will latch, and the right click is there. Wind Ranger with another kill. And it ends up being a 1-4-2 with Resolution dying, and of course it was a Resolution that died after already killing off the Rubik, so even that he still has in his favor. Oh.
Yeah, now Silent, a little bit of trouble. Oh, sigh. That was a nice try to try and get the Timber Chain across downhill to those trees below, but Timber Chain is a little too fat.
Yep. Indeed, and with only level 2 Timber Chain, didn't really have any other option there. And Resolution so far, by the way, I mean, he's been in 5 out of the 11 kills. He's not as fat as I thought he would be. I mean, and we see it on the net worth, of course, as well. But I thought he was going to be having more gold than what he has. He almost has his drums ready. He is going back mid, this time with a bit of a backup. A smoked up backup, that is. With Advanced Always Wanna Fly and Silent right behind him. Still haven't been able to take down any towers, but they are the ones to seemingly having the control over the game. They are the ones to look for all the fights and find them as well, and find them in their favor even. Or perhaps they want to
smoking. Smoking by Empire almost caught out Rubik, but it's so nice to have Rubik versus Viper because you're guaranteed an ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, you cannot steal anything else. So indeed, Rubik is going to be having a fun time with that, especially if he can kill off Resolution with it right after Resolution kills him. I mean, it's a bit of satisfaction there from dying. At least he dies too. Haste Rune for Vanskor, by the way, who is level 6, just reached level 6, and is looking for his first target for his Fiend's Grip. And it looks like he has already decided on his target, which is going to be the Weaver. The question will be if they have enough damage to kill him off during that Fiend's Grip. But I think they should have. Mag is going to at least try to initiate with a hook shot, most likely. Just need the vision then. Do they have that? Nope. Need to cog him in. And then wait until he comes out of his Shakushi. They have to wait for this creep to go down first, otherwise Mag will hit up on that creep. But then comes new creeps. The troubles of being a Clockwork.
Yeah, Snaking knows exactly what's going on. Shakuchi farming. SSD has such a big advantage due to the fact that Arise is doing way better than Resolution.
Yeah, that is very true. Rise is almost finishing up his 4 stuff. Actually, he could buy it right now if he wants to, which he probably does. And that means that his... oh, wait a second. Nice double shackle right here. Timbersaw able to Timber chain himself away. And this time, it might actually be Silent in trouble because in comes Arise. Sanity's Eclipse comes out for that even, as they will also take down the Windrunner, the Wind Ranger. 2 for 0, a Rise rotation to the top lane, paying off. And having 700 gold already, 750 after finishing off his 4-staff. Looking pretty solid there for SSD, and that OD farmed up is only starting to pay off right now. If he can continue those rotations, if they can continue punishing Empire's aggression, which so far they haven't been able to do just yet, but with those rotations they will be, then Empire will be in a lot of trouble, because they kind of need to be getting ahead. Wait a second, they might be able to get a kill. They do indeed. Timber Saw going down. That's your first Fiend's Grip used from Vanscore, and enough damage coming out from Resolution to take down the Timber Saw.
Yeah, unfortunately they didn't have vision of the rune, and a nice little invis gets Resolution, a good rotation. It's just his rotations haven't really served well. He hasn't picked up much CS since he's been moving around looking for kills, and only being part of 6 kills at 15 minutes in with 2 deaths is not enough. Because now OD is pretty much, he's kind of unstoppable in many ways. Like, the only heroes you can really lock him down now are Wind Ranger and Bane. And the only one you can really rely on is Bane. So because of that early 4-staff pickup, a Rise is going to be really, really huge, because he can farm much more aggressively now.
Yeah, Empire, and I need to find some way to get a successful gank in, and then actually taking the tower off the back of it, because that's right now what they lack. Just that extra bit of gold to get their core items up, like a BKB on Silent, who only needs 1k for that. Maybe the 4-staff ready up on Mag as well. Gyrocopter is BKB. Did I just mention that already? Yes, I did. Viper goes for the green build, by the way. He's got his drums. He's got 900 gold. What are you expecting a Resolution to build, actually? Because there has been so many different builds being made on Vipers that I'm quite curious to see what Resolution decides to do with it. A player who normally is very aggressive and is normally playing different heroes than the Viper.
He's behind. I'm thinking, I mean, Windrunner isn't going for it yet, so probably the mech is his best pickup. They've got really good team fight, and I think they should really just build up on that. With the Gyrocopter being able to enter into these early team fights, unfortunately he's forced to go BKB because of the way OD is farming, so he doesn't have much damage, but they really need to take some tier 1 towers. That's their best way to come back into this game, I feel. And team fight on Viper, being able to pick up a mech, is going to be a big part of that.
Ooh,
unfortunately, he may never get it.
Yeah, there goes the Viper, already frostbitten up. Sanity's Eclipse drops, Resolution dies, and Vanscore didn't even have a chance to do anything. PPD decides to cast his full duration of his freezing field because he could, but that's 2 heroes picked up real fast, and that Sanity's Eclipse really hurting on the Bane. As Weaver gets picked up bottom, almost want to fly, able to run himself away with the Wind Run, away from a Rise. They will get the tier 1 tower top, but at least it was Empire that got themselves a Clockwork in return on the, Weaver on return on the bottom lane. Coldong actually comes out on top. They don't really should be wanting to go for this though, because I don't think they would be ahead. They don't, I mean, that's the risk of throwing away the BKB that's always almost done on Silent. Just needs about 200 gold.
Yeah, Empire's falling more and more behind. SSD has had really good rotations. A big part of this has been Timber Saw. He's freed up so much room and freed up a lot of pressure for a Rise, just to be able to keep him farming. And he's rapidly getting to the point where he's actually going to be able to carry. He's beginning to get those levels on Arcane Orb, and that's one of the big things, is you actually don't need many intelligence items to actually be start carrying for OD. Really, your biggest thing is levels, and that's where Hand of Midas has come into play. A lot more ODs are picking up Hand of Midas because they know it's a good item to continue to farm after the lane, which is primarily OD. He's not a very good farmer outside of the lane. Like, he dominates his lane, but after that, if you get shut down in the laning phase at all, oftentimes you're going to stay under farm because you have no way to burst down creep waves, right? You can't farm very quickly at all on that hero. So Hand of Midas is both a good way to keep up your gold and keep the advantage that you've gained early on in your laning phase, while also being able to get that experience advantage, which is hugely important for OD.
Yeah, very true. We have got SSD slightly at an impasse, perhaps waiting for some more core items to be finished. Snaking, of course, still farming away here on this bottom lane, and he is almost ready with his Lincoln Sphere, just needs about 300-ish gold. And when that happens, I wouldn't mind seeing SSD going for something. Actually, Fanscore gets Force Staffed in. Fiend's Grip Mag, the one with the Force Staff. He gets Telekinesis though. The Fiend's Grip doesn't really do anything anymore. And it gets returned to Vanscore. It is Rubik that dies though because Resolution comes in. Fiend's Grip not meaning that much anymore. And that's going to be only one death. But Rubik definitely saving the life of Snaking right there. And that was all that mattered. Giving his life for that is quite noble and good as well. I mean, better than having the Weaver die.
Yeah, really good rotation. If that skirmish had failed, it probably would have pointed to really bad things for Resolution's build. But because if they can just get a couple of these good skirmishes, Aghanims will pay off on Viper.
Yeah, tier 2 tower, or tier 1 tower almost dead. The TPs come in, the Nightmare up on the Crystal Maiden. There is still some other people around, so... Oh, PPD, careful there. So if they want to fight, they could try to. Astral Imprisonment, come with me, could throw out a Viper Strike, Telekinesis Viper Strike, they might be able to get Mag here, and they should be able to actually try to do something before he dies, but that's a dominating streak going the way of Arise. That's almost 600 extra gold, and the first BKB used on the Gyrocopter, which didn't really end up doing anything apart from taking down the Timbersaw, who's already back up because he had a Bloodstone. Windrunner gets picked up as well. Arise making his way out of this one as the Freezing Field once again up, and the Gyrocopter no longer having the protection of his BKB gets dropped as well. SSD, they're on the hunt, on the move, looking for more, looking for the tier 2 tower at least if they are not gonna get any more kills. They get 3, they only lose 1. And that was actually not even a kill on the Timbersaw. He was able to deny himself by suiciding.
Yep, LOD is going to be able to pick up a Scythe of Ice pretty soon. Snake King is looking really, really good with Lincoln's Hand of Midas. 20 minutes in, he's well on his way to be able to pick up an early Desolator. He's also actually got Magic Wanted Boots coming into him as well, so he's even got some of those small items he needs. So I don't know. I mean, Empire, they don't have this late game advantage. Gyrocopter is good, but Weaver's direct damage is really, really powerful versus Gyrocopter. He often depends so heavily on his BKB that being able to get direct damage, physical damage like Lifestealer or Weaver is really, really strong against him. So even if this game does go another 15 minutes, Weaver with an early Desolator will still be able to tear him apart in team fights. So I don't know. Empire's going to have to pretty much outplay SSD pretty much every step of the way to come back into this game.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. SSD already grouping up here on the bottom lane, or at least with 4 of them. Might be looking to take down Mag or Fanscore, both. I mean, they are outnumbering them after all, and they should be able to. And actually, Mag got scouted out by that run range creep, and that should be the way in. The Telekinesis is there. In comes the Chakram as well as the Frostbite. No hope for him, or he cogs himself in perhaps. Still away. Snake King can't really dive this all too much because in comes the Cavalry. Mag will live to tell the tale, and it looks like Empire will be able to defend their tier 2 tower and will not lose any more lives in that fight in the bottom lane. If you can actually call it a fight if nobody dies, I think we can actually. Yeah. We can. Great escape from Mag. For sure.
Yep, it's going well for SSD. Sorry, I'm a little distracted.
I was thinking that was a Skype message.
No, that wasn't Skype. That was just me. That was just me.
Distracted. It happens, and we might have a fight again. Silent dropped into the cogs, BKB or not. He is taking a lot of damage from that Weaver. Can't really hope to save his life. Fiend's coming in on the Timbersaw at the same time though, but Fiend's getting returned to Vanscore. Timbersaw dies, but as does Vanscore. In comes the Freezing Field of the Crystal Maiden again. Resolution Force back. Clockwork not able to make a stand. Always want to fly Force back as well because no Gyrocopter means no fight. Even though the Power Shot still takes care of the Crystal Maiden. Looks like SSD is looking to back off. There's no more hook. Perhaps there's going to be some magical shackles. That's a very magical shackle that would latch, but it doesn't really have any follow-up coming out from it. As he ends up stealing a hook shot. This, come with me, Rubik, is stealing ultimates like crazy. Fiend's Grips, hook shot up for Resolution! He is going to be going down as well. There is a Astral Imprisonment locking in Mag. Mag will drop as well. That's going to be another couple of kills going the way of Arise. And off SSD. Oh, Silent. Can't afford to die again. He already just died. They have to just let this tower go. Mag? What are you doing here, buddy? Let's get another hook shot in about 7 seconds. He force stops him forward. He's looking for come with me. He's the one that stole the hook. Doesn't want to Give it away again. Mag gets picked off though, and at this point SSD is just steamrolling through Empire. Empire is just running in one by one and dying. In comes a pause. It is a pause coming out from SSD, so not really a tactical pause, but Empire could have asked for this pause, or could have done this pause, because they need to recuperate at this point. They can't continue fighting. They have to stop.
Yeah, they're just losing so many heroes in a row. I mean, really, does SSD really need PPD? I mean, it doesn't look like it. Come With Me is playing well enough for both of them. He, like that last play where he was able to hook shot in on the Viper and then turned and picked up the clockwork in the background, essentially left it so that Viper had no escape whatsoever. Not only was he disabling the clockwork to make sure he couldn't get a good cogs off, but when he came crashing back down, it was exactly where Viper was retreating to. So it was an incredibly good play, and Come With Me is really impressing with this Rubik so far.
Yeah. Pretty impressive, to say the least. It's not yet over even after this fight, after this pause is done. Empire is taking a stock and calming a bit down, not going in 3 versus 5. Very smart of them. They will lose their tier 2 tower, but I think that was already known for a while when that fight started happening. The gold graph is just spiking out of control at this point. 15k in favor of SSD. Experience graph not as big in favor of it in SSD, because it's only 3 kills in a way. But it's still 12k in their favor, and it's just looking very scary at this point. I mean, Snaking doesn't even have those damage items built, but once he does, I mean, he's already so far ahead compared to Empire. It will only get worse at this point, and I am actually thinking the only hope for Empire still is maybe a Desperapier or something like that. Wow, that was Dutch. Desperapier for Silent coming out here, but he's far away from actually getting that in terms of having the gold for it.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's going to be them just hurling until they can get a divine and hoping that's going to be enough. I'm not sure if it is, though. I mean, OD, before that team fight, he was looking to pick up Scythe of Ice if they were able to get the tier 2. But afterwards, what a catastrophe that was. Not only did he pick up Scythe of Ice, but now he has another 2k gold on top of it. Like, he walked away with so much gold from that team fight. Like, Viper, Aghanims, at 25 minutes in, it's just too late for that to really be all that effective. The supports, I mean, you even got a Hannah minus up on PPD, so he's going to be able to pick up, we don't have a mech, but he'll eventually probably get one, just because it'll help versus the Viper ult.
Yeah, they need something against that Viper ult. I mean, it's basically the only thing that's helping Empire at this point, apart from the gyrocopter and his BKB. And they can't even rely on that all the time, because, I mean, they get it thrown back at them as well. It's just such a tricky situation right now for Empire to be in. I'm kind of thinking about what they could do to get back into this game, apart from trying to farm a Rapier up on their gyrocopter. But I'm not too convinced that there is a way. And actually, Come With Me behind the tree line. Silence cut it out. Hexed up, killed off. There's no way he's going to be able to farm up a Rapier if it's going to continue like that. You mentioned, though, during the draft, that getting kills right now off of streaks is, a bit buffed since last patch, of course, so that's a good way to get back into the game. And with the Beyond Godlike strike on the rise, perhaps if Gyrocopter can get his hands on that bounty, maybe that's the way they come back into the game. One team fight is all it takes. Good luck. Or one good gank. I'm not sure if that would be...
yeah, perhaps. I mean, you've still...
Sorry, Skype.
Yeah, the carries are kind of squishy for SSD still. It's just improbable that Weaver and OD are both going to die in the same team fight. And that's really what they need. They need both of that bounty golds. I mean, soon, OD, he actually picks up Treads now. But he's going to be able to pick up a Shiva's Guard, so even the physical attacks coming out, the flat cannon hits from Gyrocopter aren't going to do very much. They're just, at this point, they cannot be stopped, and I don't know, Empire has to go like a good 15 to 20 minutes stopping any attempt at pushes by SSD and also not getting picked off. Like, this game could push 20 minutes, but SSD is going to continually look for that Gyrocopter to grab, and they have a great pickoff crew in order to do so.
Yeah, and they
It's an
also
inevitable
now
loss for Empire.
they also have a blink on the timber saw, which is a pretty scary thing and a good item. I mean, it's not really an item that you'd only buy when rich, like when the game is going really well, but it's a very great item to just continue to get those initiations and to just be able to use the timber chain straight away to get back out again, should it be needed, not to only use the timber chain to get into a fight. But we'll see when he gets to use that, because so far SSD is taking a bit of a passive route, which will favor Empire, but I'm not sure how long it will last, because they could just try to take down Roshan and then go top lane, and actually they're just gonna smoke, they're gonna fight straight away, maybe not even try to go for Roshan, just try to go for top lane, smoke up, get a backstab kind of gank, or use the smoke to get into the Roche pit. That could be something, which seems to be the case. Yeah. No, with that Aegis, they go top lane afterwards, take the tier 2 and go high ground. I think if Empire doesn't try to fight them in the Roche pit, because I feel like they might need to. They're gonna be too late, never mind that. And that's of course possible with help of the Desolator to take that down so fast. The hookshot still hits up on a Rise. Rise has the Aegis though, and the Cogs. Mag is on the other side of the tree line once again, so he'll be fine. No fight happening just yet, and that's good for Empire. They have still got a chance to make their stand on the top lane soon.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Empire's gonna need a miracle here, and it's still SSD. They're still not ready to push in, it looks like. They're just taking their time, farming up. They know they're getting a huge gold lead as time goes by. It's over a 20,000 gold lead. 30 minutes in, you could still use things like Daedalus up on Weaver, OD. You could potentially pick up a little bit of tank on him. I mean, he's still kind of squishy. He's got enough intelligence, though. He hits like a truck. He's hitting like 250 damage a hit.
Yeah, it's scary. And I mean, there's no way that Empire was gonna try to defend their tier 2, but they better be ready to defend their tier 3, because I feel like they only have one chance to keep themselves in the game. If they have to, maybe not even win the game, but at least make sure that SSD is crippled enough that they can't continue pushing on. They have a 9-second BKB, 8-second for BKB for that from Silent, and that might be the one to help out. Resolution has got an Aghanims, so that's going to be helping out. Let's take a look. They have the Mechanism, of course, but other than that, they don't really have any new items. No push coming from SSD, though, and they show mercy.
I don't know if it's mercy. I mean, I think mercy would be ending this now instead of prolonging the suffering, because it's really what it is. I mean, you look at Vanscore getting 3-shot. Yeah.
Yeah, we saw that.
Like, when you're getting 3-shot, it's no bueno.
It's a bit painful. That's of course also because of the Shiva's guards that he finished up. He still has got 2,300 gold, by the way, even after getting that one complete. So he is just filthy, filthy rich. He hasn't died yet this entire game, just to point that out. He's been involved in 15 out of the 22 kills. So, you know, oh, wait a second. Maybe Viper? No. Weaver is able to TP out on the bottom lane. But yeah, this OD is just incredibly fat. And they actually tried to slow him down by having that Bane there early on in the middle lane. Well, that didn't do them any good. At least didn't do
And they ran a decent laner versus him. Like, Viper is not a bad mid versus OD either. But, who knows? Maybe SSD is waiting for the refresher to come up on OD so they can give a shout out to Arteezy and just 2-shot everybody.
I'm a bit dreadful for Empire at this moment. I mean, they're just hanging around their base. They can't really afford to go out. I mean, Vanscore ventured too far out of his base. We saw what happened to him. He got punished for it. Of course, he doesn't really have any items or something like that, so perhaps that, you know, didn't help his cause all that much, but they have to be so careful. And actually, look at them. Trying to find someone. They fight themselves a Rise, but a Rise is faster. No Nightmare coming out. Hookshot misses. 4 staffs forward from teammates, from PPD, from himself, and he gets himself out. Empire cannot chase anymore. Imagine if that hookshot would have hit. They would have been able to pick up a Rise, I think. Maybe not. They had Aegis. They would have been able to pick up the Aegis and then had to run like hell because the rest of SSD would have been there.
I mean, there was still the second 4-staff that, like, he waited for the first 4-staff, which was smart. Unfortunately, he wasn't taking into account PPD was sitting down just below the cliff, ready with the second 4-staff. So even if he did hit the hook, that might not have been a kill. That might have been just another force staff down the cliff or something, and OD walking away. But it goes to show, like, when their SSD is so spread out, they're utilizing the jungle. They're utilizing all of their map control really well to maximize their farm. And even when Empire does group up and look for a pickoff, they still can't even get that much.
So when do you expect SSD to try and, you know, rip off the bandage and Empire suffering? Go for the GG, or is that right now when they're rotating top? They already got 3 people around there, and the other 2 are actually pushing mid. They're going for the split push. They get themselves a telekinesis resolution. Nightmare trying to help out. Oh, instead of this Eclipse, Resolution will end up living to tell the tale, but he will be forced back to base. And then in the meantime, Vanscore does get picked off there on the high ground. Nice shackle from always want to fly, but he's not able to stop Snaking from taking the tier 3 tower. Yules, Chakram, telekinesis, always want to fly. He's gonna be the second one to die by the looks of this one. Frostbite coming out to help out, and that's gonna be Rubik getting the kill. Also getting the tower last hit, by the way. This Rubik getting fatter by the moment. Cooldown coming down. Won't really hit anybody. Though, in comes a freezing field. PPD, he's taking so much advantage from the fact that there's nobody that can interrupt him there anymore. Mag, frostbitten, taken down, silent. Last one alive to get him with the Bane. Tries to make it back to base. Not gonna be so lucky, and Bane gonna be the last one to get dropped here. That's a team wipe. That's a GG. Empire get wiped. SSD takes their first game here in StarLadder Star Series Season 8, Day 1, Game 3.
Really well done by SSD. I mean, they played it very patiently and picked up a little extra farm. Honestly, the items that were necessary for them to probably win the game was when they had Scythe of Ice on OD. Like, the Shiva's probably unnecessary, and the Deso up on Weaver. But they still farmed up like an extra 6,000 to 8,000 extra gold. And it goes to show, I mean, they respected Empire. Even though they did have such a lead and they did have even late game advantage, I feel, they respected Empire enough to be able to just control the map, get just pretty much an unstoppable advantage. I mean, no team can throw that hard. And so really well done by SSD. Good patient play, and taking out a strong team like Empire. Empire was looking really, really good in the last couple of weeks, so that was definitely a great win for them.
It was indeed. Hey, is Bible Thump with a B or a P?
Who?
Thump.
What?
Never mind. I found it. Sorry.
Oh, Bible Thump.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Sorry.
That's it for me, though.
I agree. Yes, and also, thank you for joining me. So, do you have any shoutouts or plugins?
No, just I think there will be an announcement in the next couple of days about what I'll be doing. Since I quit my job, I'll be doing some full-time casting, and shout out to you,
people should
Sheever.
follow you on Twitter. That's the thing you said.
Yeah, at Dota Capitalist and Twitch TV/Dota Capitalist. Though, if I stream it all, it'll be tonight, and then I'll be done for a couple of weeks probably.
Forever. Oh.
Not forever. Not forever.
Good. Well, thank you for joining me. Have a good night and good luck with the packing. And, yes, we will be having ourselves another game. We'll be joining Aspera, who will be going up against the retry once again. Well, we're like the second time that we see the retry. We're going to see 2 Aspera games of the last 2 games here in the StarLadder Season 8 Day 1. So stick around as we're having more Dota 2 for you to come. Don't go anywhere.